JC, first off, thank you for coming. And how is the season going so far? How are you feeling about the team and everything like that?
This is my first season back. I just came off of an ACL injury, actually. So this is my first season back with the team, and we were a pretty young team. We have a lot of freshmen, sophomores, kind of stepping into big roles for the team. But for as young as we are, and for being as newly transitioned to D1 as we are, we had a great season. We ended up placing fourth, maybe fifth. I think fourth in the conference in the WAC, and we experienced a lot of success. Really competed with some of the bigger teams. Actually beat New Mexico, who was WAC champion this year. So it was really exciting. I felt like I got to be not only a part of like a team that got to go to the WAC tournament, we made it for the finals, but also a team like this was a really big turning point, I think, in Utah Tech women's soccer. Who is probably now going to become a really big force in the WAC and in Utah, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, a young team. So coming in as a veteran, how did you try and take on that leadership role and help these girls adjust to the college soccer and get ready for the run that you obviously are very confident they're about to go on?
I'm very much like a lead by example. I don't know if I don't even my teammates might disagree, but just trying to set the example of being grateful every time you step onto the field and making the most of the opportunities that you get. You really never know when it's your last day of soccer or when you may get another opportunity like the one you have. So just making the most of that. Additionally, just trying to instill a lot of confidence in like their ability. um, I felt like self confidence was something I struggled with as a freshman and sophomore in my ability. And so I think, if I would have had more of that, I think I could have been even greater than or done more for the program than I did. Um, so just trying to get these freshmen that are coming in to really believe in themselves and know that they are capable of like awesome things. Then they just need to believe in themselves and put in the work. And when you combine belief and hard work, then you can go in a lot of places. And I think the freshmen did come in with really good attitudes and they wanted to put in the work. Practices were awesome this year. I think I would say I don't even know. I think maybe we had one bad day of practice, and other than that, I think like every day we were coming in, we were getting stuff done, we were absorbing new information and really putting it to work on the field. So just lead by example, I guess, is how what I try to do.
No, I mean I completely agree, and that it's an awesome process, and it sounds like it's been very successful for you. And of course, one of the bigger points this year, aside from soccer, is the fact that you're going from a student athlete to a professor player. What has that been like, and how did that kind of come about? Because it is such an interesting opportunity and place you find yourself.
Because COVID, well, between my injury, I had a ACL red shirt, and COVID giving us a year back, I had 2 additional years. And so I graduated in May, but I still had 2 years of eligibility, and I didn't really love the idea of just coming back and taking classes that weren't really going to like affect me or like impact me positively. Just like recreation classes. And so I wanted to pursue a master's. And they have a master's program here. It's called the Technical Writing and Digital Rhetoric, and it's a really fun, interesting master's program. And so once I got accepted, they offer you credit for teaching because it is like an educational English major. And so I was like, that sounds like such a unique opportunity. I've never like taught before, but I do love like leadership roles, and ultimately I want to become an athletic director myself. So I thought taking on a role like this would really help me prepare to like get into that kind of professional environment. And so I was pretty nervous to start teaching because I was so young and close to age, and the students I would be teaching, I'm teaching freshmen. Um, but once I kind of got into it and started preparing for it, I really ended up loving it. I don't know if it's something that I will like continue to pursue as a career, but I do enjoy doing it right now. And I think it's really kind of, I mean, there's a lot of parallels between like teaching and like playing. I mean, there's a lot of parallels with being a student as well, which I still am. I still am taking classes for my master's class, but teaching definitely takes up a lot of my time. But like preparing is huge, both in soccer and teaching. Work ethic and dedication, that's huge on both in the field and in the classroom. So it's been a really interesting opportunity, and I've learned quite a bit from it.
Have you actually taught any of your teammates, or a friend of a teammate or something like that?
I haven't taught any of my teammates. I teach at 8 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and none of the freshmen on our team liked the idea of getting up at 8 a.m. So I don't have any athletes actually at all in my class, but I'm trying to think. But I do. The freshmen on my team are very quick to tell me about like their experiences in their English. They're like, "This is what my teacher's doing. Like, what are you doing?" Or I had one um, freshman ask me if I could like look over her paper and like give her feedback on it, which I have no problem doing. Like, I love helping out my teammates, but it's very interesting to be both like in a teaching role and as like a teammate role. Sometimes it's hard to turn that off, like when you come to the field and realize that I'm a teammate and not a teacher.
No, I believe it. And for you, does it feel like it's been a nice emphasis on the educational side of being a student athlete and going to college for this stuff? Because I know a lot of times there's always more focus sometimes on the athletics, and what you're doing really shines a light on the opportunities that you have academically being an athlete and what sports can do in that sense.
It's definitely given me appreciation for what professors do. I mean, I've always appreciated my professors. Utah Tech has, I've had a great experience here as a student and as an athlete. Um, I've had great teachers who have really opened doors for me or changed perspectives and really ultimately worked with me as an athlete because that is a unique experience that comes with its own obstacles and trials. But it's definitely given me an appreciation for the work that goes into being a professor. I like on breaks, like fall breaks and stuff, I think I appreciate it more as a teacher than I did as a student. Um, so yeah, definitely open up a new perspective. I think that just speaks to Utah Tech's like their mission is to get people engaged and like opportunities, maybe getting you opportunities that you don't have inside a classroom. Um, so I just think that speaks to Utah Tech's like educational mission is to just opportunities, engagement, all that kind of stuff.
You graduated, it looks like, with a biology degree, and now you're an English professor, and you want to be an athletic director. So, I mean, how did all of those kind of career paths affect you, and when did those changes kind of happen to make you want to be an athletic director rather than what it looks like from another interview you did? You wanted to become a vet originally.
Yes. So I came into college pursuing a biology degree because I had hopes and dreams of going to vet school. Um, and then about halfway, I think I was like probably a junior. I was halfway through my junior year. Um, I was kind of I didn't know if I wanted to go to vet school anymore. I still love biology and science will always have like a near and dear place in my heart. But I was able to we got a new athletic director last year, and I was selected to be on the committee to like represent female athletes at Utah Tech to pick the new one. I was on the hiring committee, which was an awesome experience, and again speaks to Utah Tech's model of incorporating students in their decisions and education. And so that was an awesome experience and I loved it. And throughout it, I just kept finding myself, I would love to be when we would ask them questions and they would say what they had done or what they had been in charge of. I was like, that sounds awesome. That sounds like something I would want to do. So between that experience and me kind of realizing vet school wasn't for me in the sense I wanted to work more with people and be a little bit more dynamic and in what I was doing and maybe work in a couple different areas. So less in the medical field and more in um, like a leadership role in the sense of working with athletes, working with communities, working with administrators, kind of like a I don't know what word I want to use there, but I wanted to do multiple different things. And so through the athletic department, I kind of realized, oh, this is something that I would be really interested in. So unfortunately, though, the NCAA, I couldn't switch majors. So, or else I'd become ineligible. So when, we got our year back, I realized I was like, oh, they have a master's program here that would probably help me get a foot into this industry. And I was able to speak with our new athletic director, Ken Beezer, who's a very wise and insightful guy. And he kind of pointed me in good directions too and said pursuing a master's is always a good idea. Even if, you don't end up becoming an athletic director, it opens doors that it might not have. Whereas a biology degree might, I don't want to say trap, but it encourages me to stay in the field of biology, whereas having a master's that kind of I could be used in conjunction with a biology degree, but could also get me into different fields would be a really good idea to pursue. So between that and my love of writing, I've always loved writing. I thought that this master's program would be a good fit.
Sounds like it. And obviously, we've been talking a lot about the academic side and all of that stuff, but the back part of that is your love of soccer, because there's a lot of people who would have, you graduate and you're ready to move on. You obviously wanted to take advantage of your still 2 years of eligibility. So, what about that love of soccer and that passion for the game has kept you at Utah Tech and made you want to continue to play? And then because of that, it's opened doors for you that that might not have been there had you not decided to stay initially.
I like that you said stay at Utah Tech, because throughout my athletic career here, there have been multiple opportunities to leave. I mean, we've been through 4 coaches, 2 athletic directors, 2 different conferences, 2 different divisions, a name change. We've had so many opportunities for me to jump ship and maybe try to start somewhere else. But what kept me coming back, besides my awesome teammates, was just like the environment here at Utah Tech, academically and athletically. I just really liked what we stood for, and I had made a lot of friends. But my love of soccer, I mean, I've played soccer since I was a little girl, and it's always just given me a passion. And it's like every athlete probably says this, but it's like your escape from stress and problems. They don't exist on the soccer field. The only thing that exists on the soccer field is playing soccer. So it's a really good escape for me. But I think the biggest reason I decided to come back and instead of being done was because I was robbed is dramatic, but robbed of 2 years. I tore my left ACL my freshman year and then my right ACL my junior year. So I had to miss half a season in freshman year and then miss my entire senior year because I was out due to injury. And I mean, it's a hard process to come back from. Any injured athlete can tell you about rehabbing injuries. It's hard mentally and physically. It's draining. But I didn't want to like hang it up on an injury. I'm not the type of person who lets things get decided for me. So I didn't want an injury to say, "Oh, you're done," or that doesn't sit right with me. And it's not a bad thing if that is something that is a deciding factor for other people, but that's not who I am. So I wanted to come back and show that I could overcome this injury and still come back and play. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it is I wanted to define my athletic career. And so I wanted to end it on a good note.
You definitely are ending it on a good note. So on that note, how are you ending it? Do you still have one more year of eligibility, or what is next for you as you look towards the future?
As of right now, yeah, I do have one more year of eligibility, and I am planning on taking it since my program is a 2-year program, which is also another fortunate is that it wasn't a 1-year program. So right now, however, I do have lots of opportunities for professional development and career advancement that may or may not impact my ability to play soccer. But I am just going to cross those bridges when we get to them. And right now, I am still dedicated and passionate about playing soccer as well as continuing my education. So for the time being, I'll be here and I'll be here next year. But life happens so fast and decisions get made just like that.
Again, thank you so much. It was great talking with you, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you. It was great talking to you guys as well.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos, and don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below while you're at it. Also, for more great and original content, head right over to bvmsports.com.